road.
Wow. No, I've seen those communities. As I
Yes.
told, driving past on
Yes,
C5,
yes,
you can see the, as you said, the
Yes.
informal settlers.
Yes. So yeah. So there's not only a legal issue here because the road and the lot is owned by BCDA.
And they're already doing something, they're constructing, they're building, and we shouldn't be done because it is your property.
Yes.
Okay, there's a safety aspect.
Yeah, and there's a safety aspect. You know, why would you now rush the construction of a road on an unsafe methodology and put in danger and risk the lives of people living underneath that road? So it's not only a legal issue, it's a moral issue. And are you going to risk those people?
Well, I can see why SM is really gung-ho about doing that because that really is the only access to their, well, that's not their problem. I mean, that's their problem.
Yes.
But it really is the only decent access to the SM or a mall. I have driven past there once or twice since the opening, so just to see what it really was about, the whole issue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, are you guys planning to take legal action against Taguig? Because it really, I mean, okay, from a lay person's point of view, it seems that the Taguig City Hall really erred in this. Because, I mean, anyone can apply for a permit, but why did they grant it? Knowing full well the conditions of the donation to them by BCD. Are you guys planning to take some legal action against Taguig?
Yes, we're actually, we have opposed the injunction that they have filed against us to allow SM to build on our own road. So currently they're doing it. So I just want to put the public that if something happens there and someone dies because the road collapsed, then it's not BCD's fault.
Yes.
We were forced by the court to allow SM and Taguig to build on that road. So, and you know, it's also in the heart of this. The reason why we're raising this issue is because our concern with the armed forces. You know, it's a Fort Bonifacio land. And the law dictates that any commercial disposition of Fort Bonifacio land should redound to the benefit of the armed forces. We are doing this not for Ayala, not for our own corporations, but for our soldiers. You know, our soldiers needed badly that modernization fund. And if you're going to commercially use the property, then our armed forces, our soldiers who are dying in the field, must be equipped with the right resources that their land, the revenues of the land, should generate for them.
At this moment, there's not a single centavo from this deal went to the AFP. Not a single centavo.
I want every single soldier in the country to ask if the armed forces is benefiting from that deal. No, not even a single cent. So it's our duty as steward of this military land to pursue it, because we believe that if you're going to utilize it commercially, then it's our soldiers who should benefit from it.
Yes.
So it's right at the heart of it. We are stewards only. We do not own that land. We are stewards of the military lands that are being commercially used that should go to the armed forces.
Yes.
So especially now that, you know, our soldiers have a lot of challenges. You have external security threats, and then you have even internal security threats with the deaths of 7 Marines in Patikul. They must be provided the necessary resources, equipment, and training, but we need the funds. So
and this will come from deals like this.
Yes,
should come.
Yeah. So can you imagine, how can we justify if a lowly soldier coming from Patikul, coming from a combat, and who lost some of his men, would ask me, oh, that's a very big mall, and it's generating billions of pesos in revenues. Is the armed forces benefiting or receiving a cent from it? Nothing. And I would say, I'm sorry, you're not receiving not a single cent.
Nothing. Yeah. Attorney, what is your comment to some allegations? Some of my newspaper friends in their columns have alleged that, oh, this is a proxy battle between, I'll mention them, okay? Between the SM group and the Ayala group, and they go so far to say that, oh, once upon a time, the Cs were renting from the Ayalas now, they're surpassing them. What are your comments about things like this, talk like this?
You know, this is an attempt to reduce the issue to a corporate squabble issue. We have nothing to do with it. We are government. Our task is to uphold the rule of law, create a fair and level playing field, and as stewards of government military lands to provide the resources needed that would be generated from the commercial utilization of these lands, provided under Republic Act 7227 and 7917. So any attempt to reduce this issue to a simple corporate squabble is doing disservice to the country. We cannot have a corporation that would act with impunity, forcibly enter government property, remove the barricades, and even endanger public safety, and deprive our soldiers what is due them.
Yes, yes. What do you think? How do you think this will all play out, attorney? I mean, now, okay, fine. We have seen that apparently there are the building of this mall is questionable, but now the structure is there.
Yes.
They have occupancy.
Yes.
They're operating already. It is
Yes,
operating
yes,
as a
yes.
mall. What can be done? What do you expect from your complaint, or what do you reasonably expect to happen from your complaint against this action?
Well, I think, as I said, we are after the interest of the armed forces. We are their stewards, so their interest must be amply protected. Now, the fact is, yes, the mall is already there, and it's being a commercial use as against the institutional originally intended. Now, what we're saying is, to comply with the law, then if you're going to use it commercially, then under the law, you must give the proceeds to BCDA, and BCDA gives it to the armed forces.
Which proceeds are you talking about?
Coming from the utilization of the land. So probably Taguig could pay for the land, and then and so that BCDA could now say to the armed forces, well, it's Taguig who bought the land. So instead of a free donation, where the armed forces would not earn anything.
Okay.
Just to put in a proper perspective within the legal framework,
Yeah.
so that it would comply with the law, we'll say, okay, since you use it commercially, then let's treat it commercially.
Yes.
You give the government what is due it, pay BCDA the amount of the land, so that we could now justify to our armed forces that their land has been sold, and then we're going to put the money to the modernization.
Now, attorney, is that kind of compromise deal possible given the original conditions of the donation? Is it still possible to modify that or amend that if all parties concur? I mean, is that possible?
Well, it's legally feasible actually, because the task of BCDA is actually to privatize these military lands.
Okay.
So now, if we will violate that mandate if we give the land for free, because
Yes.
our primary task,
Which is what happened essentially when you conveyed it
precisely,
to Taguig.
and because because there's a condition that it should be used for institutional, not commercial use.
Yes, yes.
So which the law demands.
Yes,
so
yes.
now since you had treated it as a commercial transaction, then let's do it as a commercial transaction so that SM would come out and operate their business unimpeded, but the government and our armed forces are properly and amply protected, so that they will receive the proceeds that they should receive from the commercial transaction.